Hi there, this is Justin. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my recommended analytics stack for early stage SaaS businesses. So I've got here a diagram I created in Lucidchart. Let's go back into full screen mode. And it basically covers the exact tools I would set up if I was running an early stage SaaS business. So let's start from left to right and go all the way through. So the first piece that we need to talk about is the ETL. So if you've watched a previous video of mine introducing you to BI infrastructure, I'll put a link at the top of the video. You can go and check that one out. I have this framework which I call the Big Four, and it starts with ETL, then data warehouse, then data modeling, and lastly, data visualization. So in this diagram, we've got all the pieces of the Big Four. So my ETL of choice for really early stage SaaS businesses, just to be clear, this is typically going to be a SaaS business that's under, I would say, 2 to 3 years old, small team. They're working towards becoming, reaching product market fit, and they want to start building some reports to help them better understand what's going on within their product. So my go-to ETL for early stage SaaS would be Stitch. So that would be stitchdata.com. Great service, very affordable, starts $100 a month. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but it is my recommended ETL. That's going to allow us to move data from different data sources, which I'll talk about in a minute, into our data warehouse. So typically an early stage SaaS is going to have its application database. In this example, I've got Postgres, but it could be MongoDB. MySQL is another popular one. And all of those are supported by Stitch. We then might have something like Stripe for our payment processing. And we might even be doing some Facebook ads, which would be considered a marketing data source. And we can connect that as well to Stitch and load that data in. The next piece we have is the data warehouse. My go-to is Google BigQuery. It's part of Google Cloud Services. Great product. Has very good support in the market. It connects to Stitch, so that's easy to move the data into the warehouse from our sources. Other advantage of using BigQuery is that we can also connect Google Analytics 4 directly to BigQuery. That eliminates the need to connect it to an ETL, and that would just increase our costs. So there's a native connection between Google Analytics and BigQuery since they're both Google products. That's another advantage. BigQuery is also very affordable for an early stage SaaS. The BigQuery cost could even be zero, but it typically wouldn't get more than a few dollars a day. And that's only really if you're doing a lot of processing of the data. The next important data source to talk about. It's both kind of a data source and a part of the stack would be Segment. So that's segment.io. And Segment really is a unique product. I'd probably need to record a whole video to give you the overview of it, but it's essentially going to be the tool we will use to collect our event data. So our developers would write code in our app that would essentially send events through to Segment, and then Segment we can actually connect directly to BigQuery. So that's going to give us our event data. And once we have our application data and event data in the same data warehouse, then we're off to the races. We can do a lot of cool stuff around the product analytics. The next tool would be dbt. We're going to use this for our data modeling. Now, an early stage SaaS might not have the resources or an analyst on hand, so dbt might even be overkill for some businesses. It is a tool which is quite easy to use, and if the company does have a developer that can spare a few hours a week, it might be beneficial for them to learn DBT, since most developers today will know SQL, and that's really all you need to start using DBT for data modeling. So DBT is what I would use if I was starting a SaaS to do all of our data modeling. That's going to push any custom models we need back into the warehouse. Now remember, if we've connected all of this up, we're going to have Segment, our Postgres, and Stripe. That's 3 data sources related to our product performance. We're going to probably need to do some joining and blending of the data in order to answer some more complicated stuff. So DBT would be my tool of choice for that. I actually don't have it in the diagram here, but with DBT we need to connect a repository service, so that would be GitHub. So if you're brand new to this concept of BI infrastructure, then look up DBT and how it communicates with GitHub, and they'll make sense to you. And then lastly, we have data visualization. This would be the 4th piece of the big 4. And for an early stage SaaS that wants to keep costs down, Google Data Studio could be good enough to build some basic reports, some tables, basic visualizations. If they do have a budget, then I would typically recommend Tableau, but then again, you would need someone with the skills to leverage Tableau, or invest some time in training to leverage it. Google Data Studio is pretty easy to use. There's not much of a learning curve, and it's completely free. It's another Google product that I'm a fan of. So that's it. In summary, Stitch for our ETL, BigQuery as our data warehouse, DBT for our data modeling, and Google Data Studio for our data visualizations. We don't really need more than that if we're just getting started. Once we've maybe raised some additional funding in terms of a Series A, we want to start building out a data team. At that point, we might want to upgrade this a bit, consider switching out Stitch with something like Fivetran, Google Data Studio, something like Tableau, so we can really enhance our capabilities. So that's it. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. That's it. Thanks for watching.